Hey, Britt.
Hey, Matt.
Guess what?
What?
It's 2018.
Ooh.
You know what that means, don't you?
No.
Only 12 more years till Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Yay! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and how you doing? Welcome to Game Overcast, the special New Year's special.
Yay.
I say special, but it's just a regular episode of the show.
The special New Year's special.
The special regular episode of the show.
Special.
The special January show that
You
happens
are
once
the
a year.
special.
Only once a year, though. That's right, because there's only one January per year. If there was like a January 2, sometime like after March, that'd be nice. No?
What?
It's like a
Sure.
new Year's. New. What about second breakfast?
Well, I was going to say, the Chinese New Year. When is that? I don't know.
The Chinese have 2 Januaries.
No. But it's later.
They are fun people. They just make
It's
up
later.
months.
Yeah, it's later.
Yes.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have our calendar.
Yep. Okay.
They don't.
I know.
They have to go to the mall and buy their own.
God.
Shh.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
So on to serious notes. Welcome, friends, neighbors, countrymen,
Greetings.
fellow gamers, to Game
Earthlings.
Overcast. Did I always say it was the New Year's special? It's the New Year's special.
It's the special.
And this month, we're going to talk about 2018 things.
Yay.
Some 2017 things. But not about Star Wars. No spoilers.
I haven't seen it
I
yet.
haven't seen it yet either.
I know.
Well, I said no spoilers because I don't know what
Where
happens.
have they been? Yeah.
Actually, do you know what happens? You know what happens. You watched it. That's right. Okay, cool. So we're going to start. I am Matt, in case you didn't know that. And this here is the Brittany.
Greetings.
Hooray for Earth!
Yay.
And as always, we start off a little bit of now playing. Britt, what have you been playing? I love that game. I've been playing
Isn't it
that game.
wonderful?
You
It's
have
my
the
favorite.
DLC, the season
I'm
pass.
still stuck on Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and it's super fun, and I just love my animals. I want everyone to know that I love my animals. I want my animals to know that I love them. I want you to know that I love them. They're super cute, and they give me things, and I give them things, and it's just fun. And then Persona 5, too.
Random furry communist society.
What?
I don't know.
I don't box them in or
like,
something, you know?
This is my
I
oven.
let them
It's also
roam.
your oven.
Okay, so I know, and you're probably that one. You are probably the one that's putting these animals in their your
Are you
little.
talking about the dungeons?
You're building dungeons or concentration camps. I know you. I'm not doing that. I let them roam free and enjoy my camp.
You keep doing what you're doing.
You know,
You lock them down.
and they love it. They love me.
You don't want things to leave. You remove the option.
They don't
They're
leave.
happy you give them apples. What they don't like, animals can't like move out of the camp.
Not yet. That hasn't happened. Like, okay, so you have to basically buy stuff and like build stuff to get or your animals were like, oh man, I would love to visit you, but you have to have this stuff first.
Wow.
I know.
Like, I'd like to come
So-
out, but you got to have that pull,
But
bruh.
you gotta be cool.
I don't
and so
like
I'm
you
like,
that
I'll
much.
be cool and I'll buy that stuff. So
You know,
so
have you ever thought
I
that
buy
maybe
that stuff
these animals
and-
aren't actually your friends? They're just
Maybe.
using
They just want
you
you
for
for
your
your stuff.
acorns. I mean, it's terrible stuff, man.
It's
Or your
okay.
It's bells,
it's
right?
okay. As
bells.
long
It's
as
bells?
Ketchup is in my camp and he's happy, that's all that matters to me. So Ketchup, he's precious.
Sure.
He's my favorite. He's your favorite too, you know it. You know it. But yeah, you have to buy stuff, and then once you have all of this stuff built, you invite them over, and then they're like, oh yeah, cool. And then you can place the stuff yourself, or you can have it automatically placed for you.
Right.
But once they're there, they're there. You don't even have to keep the furniture that you made for them there.
So you can give them stuff and then take it
Yeah.
back?
Well, it's your stuff, but they don't want to visit you unless you have
Tell
that
me, it's
stuff.
Communist Animal Crossing. It's everybody's couch.
It is not.
It's
Anyway.
the people's couch.
But I'm still stuck on that, and it's fun. And then I've been trying to get back into Persona 5 because I love Persona. It's really great, and I haven't finished it, so doing that.
Swell. Well, I have been playing a couple things, one of which I will talk about later in the show. But so the Steam sale is going on, obviously, because it's the end of the year, beginning of the year now, actually. So I picked up Dark Souls 3 because it's on sale, and I'm playing it with my PC buddies. And unlike my normal build, I went full on Berserk. And if you guys haven't seen Berserk, the god-awful new show, or the pretty cool 90s show, I read the manga, it stars a very angry man named Guts with a really big sword. I mean, typical anime protagonist, except this guy's actually like ripped and really beefy as well. Like you look Cloud, like he's this scrawny little sucker with a giant sword. Guts looks like he could wield this gigantic sword, right? I mean, you've watched Berserk, right? You agree?
Yeah. It's a great show, but what kind of a name is Guts? Just wondering.
Well, he's gutsy. Gatsu, whatever. Well, there's a sword in Dark Souls called, ironically enough, the Great Sword, and it looks just like Guts' blade, the Dragon Slayer. So I've done this build all around that, where I have this gigantic sword that you wield with one arm, and Scaron just swinging it, and I'm just like beefed out my stamina and all of my carry weight because the sword's so freaking heavy. And that's kind of what I'm doing, and it's incredibly ineffective and incredibly fun. I usually have to come up with my buddy. I have a buddy who's gone full-on glass cannon pyromancer build, so I'll just walk up and go, "Ah!" and like get beat to crap while he sets everything on fire. It's worked so far. We're almost done. Except we get invaded. I actually got invaded by another character actually called Guts, and he had my sword.
Wow, that's funny.
We just stood there like clapping at each other, and it was like, we should probably fight now. All right, let's go. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was good. I killed him. So hard.
Wow.
It was great. Anyways.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
What else? Okay, I was playing something else
I'm too
now.
impatient for that. I can't.
I really like Bloodborne a lot more, and I really like Neo a lot more, because Dark Souls is just, even if you play it aggressively with parrying and stuff, it still feels very just kind of plodding and heavy. And even if you play a super light class, your dodge is just kind of like kind of thing, where it's like this big like kind of roll thing, where in Neo you can kind of do like a thing. You can do a backstep in Dark Souls, but you can't like dodge around all nimbly bimbly like. It's just this like kind of thing. I hope that makes sense, because it's like a leaping.
Sure, it does.
Roll. It's like your character is this like massive like body flop. So just the sound I imagine is like a right.
Okay,
Right? For anyone who's played Dark Souls, tell me I'm wrong. It's just kind of like a kind of thing. And
does he actually make that noise, or are you making that noise yourself?
No, I make the noise every time I roll.
You're
like, it's even better if your weight is like if you carry.
I sound more like an old man. That's how I would sound in real life. Like,
just something that can't roll my back. Yeah. If you're carrying more than 70% of your carry weight, you do what's called a fat roll. So you roll even less well. Like you'll kind of roll and then have this like impact on the ground. So it's just like kind of thing. And that's what my guy is, because I'm so fat. It's really funny, and I'm just making lots of loud noises, and I'm sorry. Every time I roll, I kind of laugh. Hey,
you're the one that has to edit.
Yeah, I'm editing. It's all and everything, but it's not okay. It's not okay at all. And I actually forgot what else I was playing now, so I guess we're just going to move on. I had 3 things, one of which I can't talk about yet. One was Dark Souls, and then the other one just, it left on like the 4th. Just never going to come back again. So I guess we'll just move along. I'm sure it'll come to me the moment we finish with the show.
Probably.
I'm probably going to go home and play whatever it is. What else am I playing now? God, I cannot remember. Oh, that's right. No Mercy. Duh. Sorry. I picked up a copy of WWF, still WWF, No Mercy for the N64.
Wow.
And I'm playing it right now because I'm going to take it over to a friend's house for New Year's. And I'm in, any of the wrestling games you can make people. Well, No Mercy was one of the first games to have a really good character. I say really good, but a functional character creator. So I'm making all of us. I'm making the whole, like me and like their whole family, because they're all like huge wrestling buffs, but they like old school wrestling. So like like Goldberg or Hollywood Hogan and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make all of us. I'm gonna make us all really, really ridiculously OP and stupid. So we're gonna go over and be like, look what I got, kind of thing.
That's really cool.
So that's gonna be
that sounds
awesome.
Fun. Mm-hmm. That game is so.
It's so good. You
it's
watch it. You watch it.
Yeah, it's super fun. But
it's terrible.
Yeah.
And amazing.
But it's in a good way.
It's really complex, actually. Like, you didn't think it was. And we had a tournament here at this store a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And I've seen some really dedicated, insane people playing the game in a way I'd never seen before. Like, I didn't know you could even do that. I've been playing this game since I was 9.
That's funny.
Just amazing stuff. Like, wow, you can get out of that and you can do that. And I'm just going to step off to the side. Y'all are scaring me. It's not good. But we will move right along here. So Christmas just happened.
Yay,
right?
Christmas.
If you celebrate Christmas, whatever holiday you celebrate, blood for the blood god, whatever.
Happy holidays.
Happy show we call this year.
Or whatever.
Happy blooding.
You said blood for the blood god. Like, I'm all for that, yeah.
Happy Christmas, Harry.
Oh. We
Did
love
you
you,
get
Richard Harris. That was his name, right?
Richard Harris.
Richard
yes,
Harris,
the
yeah.
man.
Fantastic.
And they replaced
Fantastic
him with
actor.
Another actor who is very good,
Rip.
but a terrible Dumbledore. We're not talking about Harry Potter movies here. We're not doing it. Moving right along. It's not going to happen.
He was fine. He was just like
He just looked drunk all the time.
It just,
I think, Harry!
it's hard to fill the shoes of Richard Harris. He
He had very small feet, actually.
Dumbledore. I actually believe that he changed his name, or he pretended that his name was Richard Harris, but in actuality, Harry Potter's real and Dumbledore is real, and he was Dumbledore.
Moving along.
Okay.
We're done. I'm not doing it. Cool gaming Christmas presents. Did you get any? I know you did, because I got you at least one of them, and it's here at the table. What did you get for Christmas that was cool and gaming related, Brittany?
Super, super cool. I'm sure like people have noticed I'm a huge movie buff, especially, horror, but other movies in particular. And I don't know if I've ever talked about E.T., but I absolutely love E.T. So I got this little puppy, this beautiful, you shut your mouth.
If you're listening and not watching, there's a copy of E.T. here at the table.
Yes.
Oi.
And it is in box, and it is perfect. And look at it.
Toy sticker on it. And
I know.
everything, man.
It's so cool. And the box art is just so beautiful, and I love it. So.
I said it before, I will say it again. E.T. looks like a big turd with
you
eyes.
leave him alone. He's wonderful.
Not good.
And E.T. is a wonderful movie.
And it's a terrible game. For what it's worth, for the time that they had to make it, and the one guy making it, it's actually not that bad.
And it's just like a cool story, but I think it's really cool for any E.T. fan to have. You know, it's just it's awesome.
You collect things even if they're good or not. It's part of the madness. I get it. That's me with robots.
I like some really bad games, I'm not going to lie.
Anything else?
Yes, I also got...
If you go over to the right side of the large Xenoblade box.
If you are watching,
there is
I got a perfect inbox Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
Dream Master. Journey to a land of wonder.
And that is super fantastic. Little Nemo is fantastic. If you haven't seen Little Nemo, please go out and see Little Nemo. What is wrong with you?
Go to the movies and watch it. Right
yeah. I mean, you can't, but you can...
Find yourself a copy.
Oh, God. Where would you find it? I can't be like, go out and rent the movie, because you can't do that.
They have it on Amazon. They have it on Amazon.
Yeah, probably.
It's a phenomenal movie.
Fantastic.
Great animated, old school kind of thing. Actually had some Japanese folks working on it. It's an American cartoon, but
but you can
really good.
You can really see like the Japanese influence, I think. And the story is really dark for a kid's movie.
It's kind of like anything that, like, every time we talk about him, I forget his name, and it's awful. Matt, you're gonna have to maybe edit this in. Oh,
you mean Don Bluth?
Bluth, thank you. Yeah. Like all the '90s, '80s Don Bluth animated movies, like Secret of Nim.
Oh, that one's
kind of dark. Like really good, but scared. Like the owl and the spider scared.
There were a lot of movies that we watched when we were kids that were a little dark, like Dark Crystal, Labyrinth. I mean,
Labyrinth wasn't that bad.
There was a little bit. Legend.
David Bowie was kind of scary.
David Bowie is amazing. Was amazing.
That hair, man. Legend was.
Legend
terrifying.
is very dark. So I don't know. Would you consider that? I mean, I watched Legend when I was a kid, but would you actually consider
Legend
that a
was
kid's
what?
movie?
It was like a peach. I wouldn't call it a kid's movie, but it definitely.
Maybe it was just like a fantasy movie. I don't know.
You also watch lots of horror movies as a child, though, so you're a very bad basis
I was
for
not
comparison.
sheltered whatsoever. They just let me watch whatever.
It's like, honey, I'm going to go to the store. Here's Nightmare
But you know
on Elm
what's
Street.
funny? Yeah. And I didn't care. I mean, hey, I learned a lot of good stuff from horror movies, though. Like
how to hide bodies.
Don't talk to strangers. Maybe how to hide a body or two. I stayed by myself a lot, so I always make fun of my mom. I always tell her that I was raised by like a VCR and a bunch of horror movies, and she's like, yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, it's not her fault.
Your poor mother.
Yeah, she was a single parent, so she did what she could. But
she got it done.
I stayed by myself a lot.
A little bit damaged. It's okay. Partially
I'm awesome, okay?
But
yeah.
It's the spice of life
But yes,
is a damaged human being.
Watch Little Nemo. It's amazing.
The game is actually very good also, if you're wondering.
The game
we are a
is
gaming
good,
show.
but holy cow, the game is hard.
Well, I mean, if you see
It's
here
made
on
by
the box,
Capcom.
it says made by Capcom.
Yeah.
It's a Capcom NES game. It's going to kick your butt.
It's so hard, but it's
wipe
really
the floor
good.
with you. Well, fantabulous. Well, Matt, what did you get for Christmas that was game related? Well, Matt, you see, in the middle of this little pile of games right here, there was a really tall box for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And this is all mine now playing, but I wanted to save it. So let's talk Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Brittany, are you ready?
Totally.
I was waiting for you to take a drink. Okay, so Xenoblade Chronicles 2, sequel, I guess, although it feels like it's in a different universe than Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Like, I haven't noticed any similarities yet, but whatever. Moving on.
I'm distracted. Is that a waving elf?
No, that's actually a statue from Dark Cloud 2, which I have to...
Oh my god! I was going to say, is that a Dark Cloud statue?
Yes, which now,
but I was like,
now I have to put in the video because
yes,
no one's looking over there.
You have to see this. I was going to say, is that Dark Cloud? And then I was like, no, nobody well, I mean...
Don't you dare say no one liked Dark Cloud.
No, I know that they did, but...
For those of you wondering, here at the store, there's a statue of the main character from Dark Cloud. Actually, Dark Cloud 1.
I just didn't think that Dark Cloud was popular enough to have statues made. Like, I thought it was kind of like a cult classic where when it first came out, people didn't like it and didn't do well, and then later on, it gained a following.
It got a sequel.
That's what I thought.
I mean,
I guess.
Whatever. Thank you. Now I have to find a picture of it somewhere.
I know. But it's waving at us. It's like,
so
hey.
He's like, oi.
And it's really cute.
So Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Sorry.
I'm
so sorry.
Actually, I think I'm like 20-something, almost 30 hours into it now. I haven't checked for a minute. I'm having a really hard time playing it. It's weird. Okay, so let's talk positives. I know you're gonna rip me a new one, and everyone else is too, but that's just the way it is. So positives. For a Switch game, when it's docked, and we'll come back to that, game looks great. Character design is... Okay, we'll just get it out of the way here. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is an anime. Okay. It's just a run-of-the-mill cliche. It's not like actually an anime.
Oh, I thought you meant like it actually is an
be.
anime.
Like so far, the story for this game, from what I've seen talking to other people as it proceeds on, it is about as cliche like Friday afternoon anime as you could possibly get.
I mean, it might be an anime.
Like full, not yet, but I'm sure it might be at some point.
Shin Megami was...
Yeah, and they're making a Persona 5 anime now also.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's hardcore anime, so before you play it, you got to know what you're getting into. Where it's an anime story. It's not. I think it's actually interesting if you look at like the Xeno series as far as the overall like caliber and style of the story. It's changed dramatically, and not necessarily for the better. Like if you look at Xenogears, okay, when it came out back in the 90s, it's one of best JRPGs ever made, just hands down, and not just for the robots, kids. No. While that did help, that game itself, I'd play that game over and over without the robots, anyways. It was an amazing game. Great story, great characters. Story was easy enough to understand. A lot of religious subtext, a little bit of stuff in there, but overall, fantastic game. Great story. Play it if you haven't. It's good. Then you move on to Xenosaga, which I like to call the series. You have a game that was originally supposed to be 6 games long, okay? And then it got cut down to 3 games. So right about Xenosaga 2, they realized, crap, we have a lot of stuff to either cram in or cut off. So through Xenosaga 1 through 3, the whole thing's kind of a cluster. And they tied it up pretty well in Xenosaga 3, but there's just all kinds of weird things. Like if you just play Xenosaga 1, which I think is the only one you've ever played, actually,
yeah,
right?
Mm-hmm.
It just leaves you with tons of questions, some of which don't get answered, some of which just kind of get thrown at you. I still don't know what a Pesh is. It's something in a different... I think it's German. I don't know. But great game series, but kind of like off the deep end as far as what the heck is a story about. And you go Xenoblade Chronicles 1 for the Wii, which I didn't really like that much. I mean, it's okay. It just... But story was fun-ish. And then you get to Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I couldn't finish. I mean, we talked about this way back when we started the show, where I was enjoying the game, and then I got about 50 hours in, which is pretty good for JRPG, but I was doing as much as I could. And I finally got my giant robot. Yeah! Your transforming motorcycle, giant robot energy blade thing of doom. And I couldn't finish the game, even with the robots.
Wow.
Because
that's shocking.
There was no story. I didn't care. These RPG, I don't really care about the design too much. I don't care about the combat. If the story's good, the characters are there, you've got me.
What was the story?
I don't know.
What?
Okay, so here's the story as I recall and as I remember it. So humans had to evacuate Earth because there were evil aliens fighting or something over the planet, and we had to get the heck out of there.
Okay.
So humanity gets the heck out of Dodge, and we land or crash land on this planet, and all of the actual humans are in stasis. So the character you play as and all the characters in town are actually androids. More robots, right? So at this point, I'm just salivating. I'm just like screaming for more in this game. Like, ah! Okay. And that's it. And you're looking for the real bodies because the bodies of like the section of the ship with the humans got lost. It like fell off somewhere and you have to find it.
Well, that's a story.
50 hours later, nothing has happened.
Yeah, but are you just running around? Like, are you not following the storyline? You may just be running around.
I spent a good chunk of time doing side
grinding.
quests, but you think if you're 40 hours into Final Fantasy VII, okay?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you're way out of Midgar. You're probably all the way up to Golden Sauce already. There's a ton of story, okay? Like, stuff as other things have happened. I didn't care. And I played some of the other chapters in the game.
I feel like that's a little bit different, don't you think?
Well, you would
because
expect,
I feel like
more
you can run around a little bit more.
But that's fine. I mean, that's a good chunk of time. And if you take out 20 hours of me wandering around, which I'm sure, I went everywhere in that game exploring because that game makes exploring feel really good, which we'll talk about how that doesn't happen in this game. But I just didn't care anymore. It's just like Final Fantasy XII. I didn't care about anybody. And I played that game for about 20-ish hours, and I just didn't care. So I quit. I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't like, the environment's pretty, but I didn't care about the story. And Final Fantasy 13 was the same thing. Like, I could have dealt with the fact that 13 was one long hallway. I don't care about that. Like, who is this schmuck with a sword? There's like a Mr. T stand-in. Like, I don't care about the story at all. So just, And that's what happened to X. It's like I sadly had to disregard X because I just didn't care anymore. So anyways, moving on to this. So take another step sideways in the story, and we have Naruto, the game, more or less. And it's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not saying the anime story is a bad thing because, I love, I watch tons of anime. I'm a Gundam, hello. So as long as you know what you're getting into, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the story at all. I like the story. I have issues elsewhere with it, specifically the garbage localization, which is really, really bad. And you're looking at me, and I know, but it's ridiculous. Okay, so let's talk about the localization of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So Nintendo, in a rare Nintendo move, which I do give them an incredible amount of credit for, they added the ability to download as DLC the Japanese audio track, which is great. I am all about, and I say this over and over again, I am all about options. If you want to play the game in English, great. If you want to mute the game and play it upside down, great. Options are good. More options are much better than less options.
For sure.
Period. No, there can't be any arguing there, right? So the Japanese audio track is great. There are some things like Final Fantasy 15. Played through that entire game in English. And
oh,
it
gosh.
was fantastic.
Yeah, the English voice acting is so good.
They nailed it. It was so good. This game is not. This game has one of the worst English dubs I've ever seen, or heard, I should say, in a AAA game. And I have to specify because there are games that have had horrible localizations and horrible dubs, but they were low-budget niche titles. I'm looking at you, Castle Shikigami. You've played that with me. That's just, whoo! But, that was, an old PS2 game that no one really cared. But this is a AAA first-party Nintendo title. And my God... Let's talk about the voices. And people can argue with me, and that's fine. It's just my opinion. Some of the voices in this game are fine. Like Pyra's voice, I think, while not great, is okay. Some of all the cute little potato-looking things. You know I'm talking about. The things with the ears, and they're like, they sound fine. But like the main characters, most of the main characters, like Rex, the main character Rex, who I'm assuming is like 14, sounds older than me. He sounds like a middle-aged British guy or someone doing a really bad impression of a middle-aged British guy, which makes it even worse. Like, is that really your native accent? You sound awful.
That's what I was going to say, because I have heard you play it, and I don't think it's that bad, like as bad as you're making it seem.
You're also a lot nicer than me.
I did think that the British accents were fake. And so when I found out that it was actually a British studio, I was like, no way. I don't believe that. The accents sound fake. And
then you have Nia. Okay, so if you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Nia is this tiny little sassy cat girl. Any of you watched anime? Any of you ever seen a sassy little cat girl? There's one in like every show. Okay? You got it? You got that image? You got that voice? You got it? Cool. She sounds like an old Welsh woman.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that because there's no rule book that says every cat girl has to sound a specific way.
You see someone, like you see
and
a body type.
It just seems very nitpicky.
Like if you look at me, you don't expect me to talk like this.
But you might.
But I don't.
But you might.
But I do not.
Yes, but you might. That's all I'm saying is like,
Yeah, but it just doesn't make it. That's fine. You know what? I might. And you know what? Maybe Nia talks like that, but she sounds freaking stupid.
Nobody expects the way Mike Tyson's voice is when he opens his mouth.
He looks just like he sounds.
I don't think so.
Promise.
He has a very high-pitched voice,
He looks like one too many punch to the face is what he looks like. And he just looks like he's just holding together. He's just articulating.
Oh, God.
But I mean, that's fine. I'll take
expect.
that.
What I'm saying is, like, you don't expect a big guy like that to have a soft, high voice.
It's not about soft. It's just that, like, the sounds that come out of her don't look like they should be coming out of a tiny. Also, because she's not much older than Rex is, and she sounds like she's like 36. It just doesn't make sense. It's like other stuff in the game just drives me nuts. So I'm obviously playing it with a Japanese dub. But what drives me crazy is almost every character in the game has a different name. So like Rex has his name, but any character that could have possibly had a slightly Japanese name has been changed. So you're reading the subtitles to listen to the stuff, and no one has the same name ever. And sometimes
the subtitles
has the English
name
names.
is different from the Japanese name.
Yes.
But is it that name?
No, like Pyra's name. Yeah, Pyra's name in the English version is Pyra. In the Japanese version, it's Homura.
Okay.
So when you have like 12 people talking, it's kind of like, it just. I get that it's fine. Like let's say you just never played the game in English, which I played the first couple hours in English and said screw it. So there are lots of characters that are continually introduced that you never hear who they are in English. And it's like, oh, this is this, but they're saying this is this, and they're saying that, but then it's like, that's, And like, I get, like, if you read it and you can kind of make sense, but it disjoints the experience for me. And I find myself, every time there's a cutscene, having a hard time it just takes me out of the experience. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's not you. That's not you. And then I understand
Yeah, but from the perspective, like, I don't feel like that's too bothersome. Like, you don't know Japanese. So you're listening to it, but you're not really hearing it. Does that make sense? Like, you're hearing it, but you're not understanding it. So I don't.
And that's fine. Feel like and that's fine for you. But I know enough like bits here and there. Like, I can't speak Japanese, but I know a couple little bits here and there to know when you're completely off the rails on a conversation. Like, I can't tell you what they're saying, but I can tell, like, when they're saying X sentence and nothing they just said was in X sentence at all, and what they're saying is other things that aren't X sentence.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it just sounds a little like, I don't want to be a jerk, but it just seems a little nitpicky. I was going to say pretentious, but I don't know if that's the right
that's
word.
That's fine. You go, once again, that's my opinion, but my opinion is that Nintendo was lazy as hell.
Because again, like, they're probably saying, like, okay, you want to listen to it in Japanese because you want that experience, but you don't know Japanese, so it doesn't matter.
But once again, I know enough to where I can tell that's not what they're saying.
I guess that's true.
And some of the,
but at that point, I would just ignore it. Like, just listen. Okay,
that's it.
I was going to say, just listen to the tones,
just mute the dialogue, and just at that point, just play it with a really crappy English dub. Is what I'm saying. It's like, why is it there then? Like. And I get this, and I've had this argument with people where people's like, look, Matt, the localizations team's job, and this is what these people sound like as far as I'm gonna, is to make the game sound as much like, is to make the most sense for Western audiences as possible.
But that makes perfect sense.
And that gives them carte blanche to change every character and make
but that is true. Like, they're not gonna.
No, because hang on.
If you translate
I'm gonna get my point across on this. It's just like in Fire Emblem Fates, where there are whole chunks of dialogue that they either took out, and I'm not talking about the head petting scene. I'm talking about the character No, because in Fire Emblem Fates, there's a part like the Japanese version where you can like pet people. You can like pet their heads. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. But there are whole chunks of dialogue. Like, there's a scene between the two ninjas. In the English version, it's literally just them staring at each other, and then they walk off. Okay. But in the Japanese version, there's whole chunks of text they just took out.
Yeah.
And like, I get that you want to make it make sense because there are certain jokes and phrases in Japanese that don't make sense in English.
Yeah. Duh. I mean, you can't have a perfect translation.
No, but
it wouldn't work.
You can have
decent
translation.
They do make it work in their own way.
Yes, but their own way is garbage. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's the kind of thing where you.
I think you're being a little harsh.
I don't think I'm being harsh at all. I paid $60 for this game. I like it to be good. I like it to make sense. So, it's like I've
But
played...
the gameplay is fun.
The gameplay's okay.
Like
But once again, I just said I play these games for the story.
Yeah.
And I'm having difficulty staying attached to the story because it keeps pulling me away. It's like I've played other games. Like I've played games that have fan subs on them. And I've watched tons of fan sub anime. And how is it that people who do this stuff for free manage to make this make more sense than people who get paid by Nintendo? And they'll just take it, and they literally have carte blanche to do whatever they want and take characters and have them say whatever they want.
To play devil's advocate that you know of, you don't know 100% because you don't really speak Japanese.
Well, then, once again, it's all different. Because the official ones seem to make a lot less sense to me. And that's fine. Like, please, someone call me out on that. Someone, I dare you to call me out on Fire Emblem Fates. I dare you.
I'm not saying that's not. I just like to play devil's advocate, that's all.
That's fine.
And I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying, like, I think you're being a little harsh
I'm
for
not being
somebody
harsh.
that doesn't speak Japanese.
I'm saying it gives me I'm having difficulty playing the game. Because once again, I know enough to know that ain't right. You can say, you don't speak Japanese. Like, that's great. You don't speak Spanish. But you can tell when someone's saying something wrong. It's like, it's okay. I want to like the game.
Put the pitchfork down.
And I'm having a hard time playing the game because it keeps taking me out of the game because the English dub is garbage.
I can understand.
And the subtitles are stupid. And it's like, I would have gotten fine. It's like, just change the names. Just change the names. It's like little things, man. Change the names and make Nia not sound like Mrs. Doubtfire. How about that?
God.
How about that, Nintendo? I didn't mean to spend a half hour talking about this. I'm really sorry.
And I'm like,
I'm kidding. We can go even further into how, gameplay is great. Combat's a lot of fun. The world design is amazing.
I think this is the angriest I've ever seen you on this show.
Well, it's like, people are just like, it's not that bad. And there's nothing I hate more in the world than, it's not that bad.
I'm like,
stop being so complacent, man. It's also not that good. It's like...
I mean, who can argue with that?
So maybe we should demand good from our $60 or $100 games, It's like,
I mean, plenty of people are enjoying it. I know someone personally who's like super enjoying it.
I know that person.
I just feel like you're being a little harsh. Oh my God.
I'm looking at you, Andy. I'm enjoying the game. I would have probably been half done with it by now, but I keep having to put it down and be like, ugh, with a thing. Because it's just like, God. That, and I can't, and this, once again, this might just be me, but I know it's not because I've talked to people that think so. So this game I mentioned looks really good docked. This is the worst Switch game ever released. And you go say, ugh, it's the truth. This is the worst performing Switch game in handheld mode ever. Like, the resolution drops to, some cases, sub 3DS
I've
quality.
Seen it in handheld mode.
You saw it from over my shoulder for 10 seconds.
It's that bad.
Okay, well, once again, this is one thing where I know people agree with me. A lot of people. Some people are like, it's not that bad, Matt. Well, that's fine.
Well, honestly, like,
it's really
what do you expect? It's cool that you can take it and have it on the go. It is by no means super ugly. And so I think
it's pretty ugly in 3DS.
Graphics,
in 3DS mode. That's
wow.
what it's like.
Well, the 3DS isn't ugly. Like, I play the 3DS
I'm sorry,
all the time.
but Xenoblade Chronicles on the 3DS was also a disaster.
I played the Shin Megamis on the 3DS, and I think they're beautiful. Like, I have no issue with the graphics whatsoever. But also, graphics do not mean that much to me. Like, if it's a great game,
it's not graphics.
If I think the gameplay is fun,
I can't see because it's blurry.
That's just because you're blind.
It's also because it's 360p. or less in some cases. It's you can look at the characters and people. There's I'm going to try to find. You know what? I am Matt. Edit in some comparison shots because they're out there of how blurry this crap gets when it's in docked mode. Doesn't make the game.
I don't think it's that.
I only play it docked because I can't really enjoy the game. Like if I'm going to go around and like grind for levels, I'll play it in handheld mode because I don't have to see what's going on. But if there's going to be like a cutscene and I have to read the subtitles because I sure as hell can't tell what they're saying. I have to play it docked because I can't see because it's a mess. But so sounds bad. It's a great game. It's hardcore anime game. So if you're not into like anime cliches, don't play it. But I think it's a lot of fun. And I spent way too long talking about
Welcome
this. Welcome
to the Xeno podcast.
It's like I am going to. You were gonna hear me out. Darn it. But that so moving.
I can tell that you are very passionate about this.
Oh man, it's like. And this all could have been avoided if they wouldn't have had a not terrible English dub. I wouldn't have had to worry about it. It's like, for some reason, just Mrs. Doubtfire and Nia. And that's not even counting the other, like there's a couple other characters later on that I've tried switching back to English, and it just gets worse.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad. Okay, moving on.
It goes back to the Dr. Light pulling people off the streets. You want to be in a game?
I did think they had fake British accents, but I didn't think it was that.
Don't forget, this is also Brit's also really nice and won't say something's crap. She'll just say
so
it's not that bad, and then walk away very quickly. So, all right, moving along, for the love of God. Gaming. Okay, so it's 2018.
Yes.
And of course, one of the wonderful things is you do New Year's resolutions, like I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to stop screaming about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm not going to make that one because it's not going to happen. But stuff like that. So gaming New Year's resolutions. So mine, I will go ahead and go first.
Okay.
I don't know, unless you want to go first. Do you want to go first?
You're so heated. Are you sure you don't want some water?
It's like, I'm going to have to go
you don't want to calm down?
We're gonna take a break. I have to go, I'm just going to run up and down the stairs and punch something. It's like...
that was like such an abrupt change.
I'm going to do some of my Dark Souls 3 rolls. I'm just going to go... But
down the stairs, right over there.
So my New Year's resolution for 2018 is to finish my gaming backlog. I say that because you never finish or you never come through on your New Year's resolution, and I know I'm not.
You might. You never know.
Nope.
How many games do you have in your backlog?
I don't know. That's the point.
That's why he knows.
I've gotten to the point now where I'll be like in the Game Over, but I'll be like, hey, I want that game. I'm gonna get that game, and then forget to buy it and go home and realize I have it. Or buy it and be like, oh crap, I own this game already. Oh no.
You know what's funny? I still have games that were given to me that I didn't realize I had, or I'll be like, man, I really feel like playing that. And I'll go out and buy it. And then I'll look at my shelf and be like, oh man, I still have that sealed. So I know what that means.
Yeah, it's a problem.
That's horrible.
It's a problem. I'm going to make an honest effort to try, but it ain't gonna happen. I'm sure it ain't gonna happen. What about you, Britt?
There's just not enough time, Like if only there was all the time in the world. If you could freeze time for a little bit and then just do your stuff, and then that would be cool. That'd be really cool.
I agree.
There are children that are staring at us.
There are people looking in the door like, what are those guys doing? That store's closed.
So mine. I'm gonna aim for something reasonable. Okay. I love Zelda. And I have pretty much, I know, well, I should. I have to go back. I have every Zelda console. I've talked about this in past
Just
podcasts.
about. You don't have this. No, yeah, you've got most of them. At least as far as the hand, you have all the handhelds.
Yeah, I have every Zelda console.
You don't have the Majora's Mask 3DS.
No. Oh.
You don't.
Gosh darn it. Now I'm going to have to get it. But I have almost every Zelda console in existence. And I have a bunch of the games. So I told myself, I want to complete my Zelda collection. I want to have everything.
Well, what are you missing?
Which is hardcore.
in some form or another, I know you have
both
NES ones.
I have both NES ones. I have...
Do you actually own a copy of Link to the Past?
Wait, I can't remember. I have to look and see because I cannot remember. I want to say yes, I do own a copy. I feel like I got that for Christmas a few Christmases ago, but I don't know.
I don't remember either.
But I know I have Majora.
Yeah. You have Ocarina of Time also.
I have Ocarina of Time, and I own that. I own all of the
in some form or fashion.
Yes.
So be it the GameCube.
But see, I want
Quest
the 64 version, and then I want the 3DS version, which I have, and then you know what I mean. I want them all.
Okay.
And so, but I have Oracle of Ages. I have Oracle of Seasons. Also, I have Minish Cap.
Best Zelda.
Four Swords.
You own Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
You actually
I have Wind Waker.
The Wind Waker Wii U.
Yeah, I have it for the Wii U and for the GameCube. It's just a black Wii U
with a little bit of gold embellishment on the controller.
Yeah, that's a great system. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Kind of lame, actually. I think.
No,
the actual console has nothing on it. It's just a black Wii U. the handheld unit looks pretty, but the console is like a black console.
Funny story. I was totally gonna skip out on the Wii U. I was not going to buy it, and then when they announced that Zelda edition, I was like, now I have to have it.
Us.
Now I have to have it.
You must have.
But it's such a beautiful game, and it actually looks super beautiful on the Wii U. Yeah, it looks gorgeous on the Wii U. So
I know you own Skyward Sword because I bought it for you a couple years back.
Yes, Skyward Sword. Oh, and you also got me the. That was a few Christmases ago too.
Yeah, I got it from
and you
here.
got me the gold controller for it. Yeah, that was super cool. So
I know you got. Do you have Twilight Princess in one form or another?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
obviously you have the new one.
I have the GameCube version actually, so I need the Wii version.
Yeah.
Well, we're completing the collection. Remember?
Well, as I like to call it,
Or you just mean like as long as you have a copy,
As long as
it
you have
doesn't
a
matter?
copy, you've got it.
Okay. Well, see, I should go with that one because it's better.
You have both of the DS versions or the DS ones. You don't have some of the newer DS ones. You don't have that one that you don't have a Link Between Worlds. Or no, you do.
Oh, no,
You
I do have a
That's
Link
right.
Between Worlds. The one that I don't own is Triforce Heroes.
That's right.
Yeah, so I need to get Triforce Heroes.
You also need the really good 3DO ones. 3DO, no, sorry, CD.
Oh my
not
gosh.
3DO. CDI? CDI games. They were
CDI?
CDI, right? Yeah.
The one where he has
Like Wand of Gamelon and all that
oh
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
and the
You keep doing like what is
it's because
this?
his nose is like so funny looking to me.
Excuse me. Yeah. That you need those also to complete the collection. So
I do.
I think
Oh my
that's it
goodness.
though. I think you have every other one. I mean, if you want to like hardcore and get like the Famicom disc version of the original Legend of Zelda or whatever, but
Totally.
then of course you need a system to play it on, and it just goes downhill from there. Trust me.
Wait. Oh wait, no, you said disc.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean like floppy disk.
Because I'm like, hey, yeah.
Like it's a problem when you get into collecting games because then
Excuse
you start collecting Japanese Xbox 360 shoot 'em ups. You have to buy a Japanese Xbox 360, and you have like multiple versions of every console, and you have way too much stuff and not enough room. And
You know what slays me though? Oh, this kills me because I totally don't need one, and I freaking want it because, gosh darn it, Nintendo. Every Black Friday they do something special. Like last Black Friday they did a Splatoon or like a Splatoon bundle. It wasn't like a special edition console, but it was a bundle. You know, previous Black Friday, the Black Friday before that, they did 3DS versions, like Mario versions that had like Mario print on it and stuff. One had like I want to say it was like the booze.
Nintendo likes their limited edition crap.
Yeah, they had like booze on it or something. I don't know.
They had booze?
Yeah, it was like black and it had
Oh,
like,
you mean ghosts?
yeah.
Like the booze.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I don't remember this.
The booze, you know?
Okay. It's like a bottle of Jack on a 3DS or something. It's like, I don't remember Nintendo doing that. That's not appropriate.
I thought you said booze too. Now I can't think of it.
Booze is in B-U-U. Or B, how do you spell the booze? Is it B-O-O?
I thought it was B-O-O, like boo.
The freaking ghosts that go like this. Okay, whatever. Moving on.
Okay. But I want to say it had that on there. If you remember, correct me because I don't remember 100%. But there was like 2 different versions that came out. Anyway, they've always done special like Black Friday bundles in the past. And this year they did a Zelda 2DS. And it took all of my willpower.
That's
what I'm saying.
Old school 2DS
I have so many 3DSs because there are so many Zelda ones. So I told myself I don't need it, but I may need to get it to complete my collection now. It's only like $75, like whatever, I'm gonna get it.
Because it's a 2DS.
But it's a 2DS, it's green and gold. It's so pretty.
It's like a roofing shingle.
And so I may have to try to find that.
Awesome.
Anyway.
All right. So we are going to take a break. And I'm going to go do some Dark Souls 3 rolls downstairs to calm down. And then we will be then we will be right back.
Bye.
Hey everyone, Matt here. And has this ever happened to you? You're in your local Game Over looking for a specific game and they don't have it. Not to worry, friends. GameOverVideogames.com has got your back. Just go to our website and chances are we'll have what you need.
But Matt, I don't want to pay any shipping fees.
How did you get into my house? Not to worry, random lady. Just select the pick up and store option and we'll send it to the Game Over store of your choice within 30 days at no extra cost to you. So hop on today and check it out. GameOverVideogames.com, making retro gaming easier with the power of the internet.
Well, good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello. Welcome back.
I'm not helping you with that at all. I was like, are you waiting for me to say something? No, I'm not going to. I'm going to sit here.
And here is the lovely dark cloud figure.
No, I don't have to find a thing of it. Look at him. He's just like...
that we were talking about earlier. And he was waving to us.
With like his little poncho. You're like, hey guys.
But very precious.
It's actually really, it's a pretty sword. I likes it.
He's cute. Again, I'm really shocked there was a figure.
It's there. It even says dark cloud.
It does. And there's
Dark
stuff. Okay, anyway.
glitter. I think it's called glitter. I don't know. All right, so moving on with the second half or third of the show actually right now because we've used so much time arguing about Xenoblade.
I know.
So looking back on 2017,
Woot.
our favorite games.
Yes.
And most of the stuff I've noticed that we've mentioned a billion times before.
I know.
Coincidentally, because it's stuff that we all played throughout the course of the year. Mm-hmm. So this probably shouldn't take long. We're just going to burn through it. Britt, just go down yours, then we can go down mine.
So, number one has to be Little Nightmares. Oh my goodness. I could play this game over and over and over and over and over again. Super stunning. I love it. It's perfect. Go play it. If you haven't played it yet, what's wrong with you? Go play it.
You still haven't played the DLC yet.
It's perfect. I know. It's just because I haven't had time. But I need to play the DLC because I'm so in love with this game and the art style and the music and everything about it.
It's really good. It's a very like Limbo-esque
Yeah.
kind of game, where
Yeah.
it's just a little like platformer horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's so good.
fantastic.
All the things I love, because I love platformers. Those are some of my favorites, and it's just perfect.
Yep.
So go play it. Resident Evil 7 was another great one, especially for VR. It was so cool for VR.
Let's be honest here, Brittany. You haven't played Resident Evil 7
I
at
totally
all.
have, but it's just really fun to see you play it.
You
with
watch
VR.
me play it
because
and
I'm not a
suffer.
chicken. He's a chicken, and it's super funny. Hey, do you still have that video of you playing it?
I'm not putting it up here again.
You should.
I put it up before. And one of these days, I'll finish playing it, I guess, and you can film that. But
So fantastic! Such
look,
a fantastic
anyone
game.
who's played a horror game in VR knows that it's different. Things go for your eyes, man. It's freaky. I don't like it.
It's super cool.
And then we're going to mention it 2018. There's a game coming out in 2018 that you're just going to love to watch me play, I'm sure.
Oh,
I bet
so
you know it is,
stoked.
too.
I am so ready for it.
We'll get back to it.
Another one was Crash. It was oh my gosh, it was so good. It was exactly as great as I remembered, and I was super happy, and it took me back, and I felt great while I was playing it, and and it was remastered so beautifully.
It was really pretty.
It was. Crash is great. Now I feel like going home and playing it. Another on my list is Zelda. Yeah. Breath of the Wild. Super beautiful game.
You know what?
Hmm.
For all the crap I've given that game over and over again, I have to say, and this is once again, silence you Nintendo freaks who are just like, everything Nintendo
God.
is good. And, they're
He's just angry today.
no, I mean, just, those like hardcore Nintendo fans that still for some reason buy every amiibo that comes out and don't care like how bad a game is. We're just going to buy it regardless. It's like that's a hardcore fan. That's me with Gundam.
I was gonna say,
I
that's
don't
you
care
with
how bad it
robots.
is. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, it's like it's the same thing with liking
Like you hate
cliches.
Gundam Wing, and who owns Gundam Wing? This guy. Just saying.
I own it twice. I'm not joking because I have the
So you're
original
one to
DVDs.
talk,
So that's what
mister.
I'm saying. It's fine. So I'm like, by all means, please berate me for being a Gundam freak. I understand. It's okay. I was gonna mention with the anime thing or like anything else where certain things where cliches are good. So it's like if you watch a slasher movie, chances are you're kind of gonna know what's gonna happen, And
There are tropes. I mean, but with every genre, there
and
are always.
if you like it, it doesn't get stale to you.
Yeah,
it's the same
absolutely.
thing. It's like, oh look, it's
Because-
another guy with a knife. Dun,
because
dun,
to me,
dun.
that's the point of liking the genre.
Yeah, see,
you
are
enjoy
a horror fanatic.
Exactly.
You have a problem.
I know. I know the tropes. I love them. It's fine.
And even you can admit
It's no big deal.
you own some really terrible horror movies.
Oh, yes.
But they're good because they're horror movies. And that's the same thing with there are those Nintendo fans that don't care how terrible a game is. They're going to get it because it's Nintendo. They don't care. And
And there's nothing
for the
wrong with
record,
that.
I'm
There's
just
nothing.
ribbing at you here. So
Yeah.
they don't care what a huge rip
He's
off
angry today.
amiibos are and how they're just crappy plastic DLC
my
that have gotten
goodness.
progressively less cool looking. No.
I think they look really pretty.
Actually, that's the Zelda Breath of the Wild ones did look fantastic.
Yeah, those are gorgeous. The Champion ones that came out not too long ago look really pretty.
But so that I don't even know what the heck I am anymore. Oh, yeah. So
Okay,
for
I
all
was
the
like, what were we
garbage,
talking
for
about?
all the garbage I give you people, this is also on my list. Breath of the Wild was one of the best games of 2017.
It's a
For all of
beautiful game.
for all of its frame rate issues,
For Link's ears.
for its noticeable like lack of stuff to or meaning to. I said the lack of meaning to do stuff, which I have several people agree with me on this. Where there's lots of stuff to do, lots of quests to do. There's no reason to do it. I was like, here's another rupee, put it in the bank. There's like one or two quests where you get some there's a couple things where you can get the rest of the Zora armor, but otherwise you're just
Well, you know what? It's perfect because Link's ears. I mean, 10 out of 10.
okay. So
And then also Koroks.
so back in the real
So
world,
cute.
that being said, I still go back to it and play it every now and again, and that
Yeah.
means it's a good game. That's the magic that Nintendo had, and has gotten back some of, which I think is fantastic. Where is still a great game. It's a fantastic game. Well done, Nintendo. Was that move on, Britt? Was that everything?
Pretty much. I had Gundam Versus on there just because I really liked it. It feels, I don't even know what you're talking about because it feels more of like, it's like, I don't know. For some reason, me and Gundam, we just click the games, and it's like riding a bike.
But
and then they
masher.
could change it. No, you actually have to
masher.
know. Like, I can dodge really. I'm a new type.
I
What
look
can
over
I
and
say?
she's just smashing the
What
controller
can
into
I
the wall.
say?
Look what I did! Clank,
Look,
clank, clank.
it's not my fault. I'm a new type. Okay.
If at this point you don't know what a new type is from all of my stuff, a new type is more or less a Gundam Jedi. Would you say that's a reasonable
that's super
facsimile?
accurate. Yeah.
Awesome. It's not like I dislike Gundam Versus. I just don't like the direction where the game's gotten so fast paced. I kind of miss.
Oh, but that's so fun.
I miss like the tactical gameplay of the older Gundam series, where it was a lot more. What? It's true. And then.
Okay, Gundam versus Zeta Gundam did not have. You did not have to be tactical, in my personal opinion.
Did you forget how we play that game? Where we will agree
It
to
wasn't-
disagree.
I don't-
That's fine.
It.
You can't button. That game punishes you a lot more for button mashing than the newer one does.
Yeah, you don't have to button mash in the newer one either.
Then why do you do it so much?
I don't. You're just angry.
I'm not even angry anymore.
Because I win all the time.
You don't.
But you know what? You win everything. So give me this one thing.
I don't know who you've been playing
It
with.
is this one
I haven't
thing.
played that game in months now. I haven't played it since the week it came out. So I don't know who you've been playing with.
Yeah, but every
I haven't
time
seen you online playing with
it's
anybody.
because you never want to play me.
You have other
because I
people
always
you can-
win.
Dan will play with you.
Dan, we're gonna play. Anyway, it's fun.
Whatever.
It's really good.
Is
And
that-
I think, yes, it is a little more fast paced, but the controls are the same. Like the dodging, the flying feels the same to me. Like
You're insane. Then it feels so different.
It's faster, but that's it.
You're faster.
The import.
Your
I played,
mom went to college.
Oh my god! I played the input. You are feisty today. Backhand you. No, I'm kidding. The import one was fast as well, and I guess I got used to playing
that was the style it went into.
Yeah, so
after PS2.
it doesn't feel, it's not a shock to me because I played the import one a lot, and I just don't.
I think
it feels fine. It feels great, and it's fun.
I think I just want a Gundam game that isn't either a Dynasty Warriors-ish game, which even Gundam Breaker falls into, or a super fast-paced 2v2 versus game.
Yeah, but it can't be too slow either.
That's
and
fine.
I didn't think Gundam versus Zeta Gundam, which is my favorite.
I just want another type of Gundam game. Like I like how the older
was
suits
slow.
though were more or less big walking tanks. They weren't like as horrible as Crossfire was for PS3 or like Zeonic Front. That made sense because there's like a lot of these grunt suits, they don't move like that. Like you can't do this like thing that you can do with like the Turn A Gundam or whatever. They couldn't even fly. I mean, they like plod along. They got legs. That's it. Like that's cool. I want something more like that again. Like give me another like 0079. Gritty, awesome, realistic kind of thing, and that would be great. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not really my cup of tea as far as the gameplay goes anymore, and that's fine. Okay, and what you got?
Yeah, and I was gonna say that I'm shocked that this isn't on either of our lists. Super Mario Odyssey, because that was like a huge release of this year.
You're right.
For the Switch.
Just because
Big win for the Switch.
I found myself not caring to go back to it.
I'm so surprised.
Like it was good. It was really good. I just I don't know why. It was fine. I think it was just fine. And at some point I'll go back to it and play it. But I played through. I think I got to the third or fourth world, and just kind of went meh. Like it's really good, but for some reason it just didn't grab me. I just felt like there was a bit too much filler with the moons. And you can skip the moons, but I don't have the kind of personality to do that. I want to go through and just get all the crap. So if I'm still spending way too long on one world and getting bored, but not being able to move on until it's
that's
done
funny
anyways.
because I've talked to a lot of people who really like that aspect. It feels like there's so much for them to collect, and it adds.
We've talked about this before, though,
game.
where I'll give you that, but when a full like third of the moons are like, go punch that rock, Mario. Good job. You found a moon. It loses a lot of the magic of the older ones where you had to work to get these things. And there was only like 150 of them, but you had to, struggle to get that 150 of them. And this one, you can get like 30 moons in 10 seconds on one of these planets. I mean, obviously not that fast, but a lot of them are just like, kind of like, hey, there's the moon kind of
But
thing.
at least there's not like a glitched Riddler trophy that you can't touch.
You're right. Poor John. You just hear him screaming off in the background.
so sorry, John.
No, so I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying because of the way I like to play games where I like to go through and do everything, I got bored. And I couldn't bring myself to move on. Like, 'cause I think you can beat the game with like 100 of these things. And there's 900-ish moons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's
I didn't realize
there's
there were
so many. Like every world has like 30-ish of them, as opposed to like the 8 that it used to be. So I'm not saying it's bad. I just couldn't get into it. I'm currently trying to struggle through Xenoblade. That's my Switch game.
Oh my gosh, you're just an angry person.
I'm not even. I'm just moving on.
Get in touch with your inner child.
My inner child wants to kick you,
Or play Super Mario
and
3.
he probably would. But
Or play Mario Bros.
my inner
3.
child would go play Sonic. Speaking of which,
Super
Matt's
Mario
list.
World.
Matt's list. Segue. Did you get that segue? It's just like da-na-na.
Yes.
We're going to just surf on into Matt's list here. Talking about Sonic, we'll talk about Sonic Mania, one of my games of the year. Darn, this game is great. And here's the thing, and this occurred to me when I was writing this list. Sonic Mania isn't really that great. Like, it's a 2D Sonic game. Some of the levels are kind of wishy-washy.
It's great, but it's not great.
Well, no,
What?
hear me out, okay? It's like some of the levels are kind of wishy-washy. Some of the music is kind of wishy-washy. There's some great moments. I think why I think it's so good, why a lot of people think it's so good, it's what we've been asking for from Sega for like 20 years. A good, competent 2D Sonic. We don't want Sonic to be a werewolf. We don't want Sonic to be a plumber or a rocket man or what the heck is he now? We don't want to be able to make our own Sonic characters. We just want a good, solid 2D Sonic game. And we got it with Sonic Mania. And it was beautiful. And I doubt we'll ever get another one from Sega because they're stupid.
Well, I mean, it sold really well, didn't it?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. I feel like it did.
So hopefully we'll get another one. I bet you Sega's gonna be like, no, here's the 3D Sonic, this time in VR or something like equally terrible.
But you would play Sonic in VR.
I'd probably play it, but I tried playing Sonic Forces and I
That'd
went,
be
nope.
kind of cool.
No, not doing it. Sega needs to give up with 3D Sonics and just let this.
You know,
team
it
make
was
one.
my understanding that this last 3D Sonic sold really well, though. And like yeah.
It didn't.
That's what I
review well
thought.
At all.
Really?
No, it got like 6s and 7s more. Or
I was
less.
under the impression that 6 and 7. That's not
6 and
bad.
7 is bad now for a game.
That is.
If a game gets a 6, it's bad.
I mean, I was when you said that I was expecting to hear like a 2 or a 1.
No, nothing gets 2s anymore. Like if a game gets below a 7, why are you bothering to play it? I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's the general consensus for the most part, unless you really like it. And I wouldn't give that game more than a 6.
Also,
anyways.
I don't trust reviewers.
That's fine. I mean, I've played it and I wouldn't give it much more than a 6. I mean, it suffers from every issue every 3D Sonic ever has suffered from. It's just not that good. It feels clunky. I mean, Sonic is, it's like anything that slows Sonic
Please
down.
tell us how you really feel.
Is it? You know what? Fine, I will. The 2D levels in Sonic Forces suck. They're terrible. Especially after I just played Sonic Mania, to go back and have him feel like this weird lumpy tub of thing that can't. No. Anyways,
Yeah,
moving
well,
on.
you were super in love with Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania was glorious. Moving along, Cuphead.
Great one.
All these like retro-ish games. It's
So
great. Some Cuphead, fantastic game. It is very challenging. But it's just like playing. I'm making that Dark Souls comparison that everyone made fun of that guy for doing. But it's true. I mean, challenging games, especially if you're into retro games where everything was this hard or harder, it's fantastic. And the music is good. The gameplay is good. The animation is so good. It's a fantastic game to play. Hook it up with co-op, play it with a friend, suffer together. That's half the joy. It's awesome. Although the game actually is easier in single player. Dan was right. I have a much easier time playing it by myself. Yeah, at least than playing with you or John.
I'm terrible.
Because I felt myself like I picked it up.
It's so good, but I'm
did
terrible.
I tell you how I had John play it the other day, where we played it and I gave him a controller. He's like, "What are we doing, man?" I'm like, "We're gonna play Cuphead, John." He's like, "Uh-oh." And we played a level or two. And we died once or twice, and he just looked at me, put the controller down, and shook his head, and walked away. I was like, "What's the matter, John?" And then he said something I can't repeat here on the show. But
it's so hard.
But it's a fantastic game.
But it's really good.
Now, moving along, I'm just going to burn through my list because there were so many games on here I didn't want to put them all in here. Persona 5.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. It's Persona.
I almost fought you for that one. I wanted to put that on my list.
Amazing game, and also a game that had a downloadable Japanese audio track and maybe was localized a little bit better. We're going to move right along. Horizon Zero
Great
Dawn.
soundtrack too. Persona.
Dun, dun, dun. It's my ringtone. But yeah, fantastic game. So Horizon Zero Dawn came out a week before the Switch came out, which I think kind of killed the hype for the game. But wow.
That game did really well.
It did well, but I think it could have done better If because even I didn't play it right away because the Switch came out the next week. So I was like, all right, Zelda, moving on. But amazing game. Post-apocalyptic dinosaur robots.
Super cool.
Super fantastic. Play it. It's one of the best things the PS4 has to offer, and it's actually, I think, one of the best looking games I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Moving along, we're going to move it. Just Neo. Dark Souls, but you're a samurai, and it moves somewhat. Remember the thing? Neo you have that, but you can also dodge like a normal. I say normal human being, but you can like sidestep and not just like hurl yourself like a fat thing down the stairs.
And in this game, there's like these really cute little like guardian spirits that are just so precious.
So great game. If you like Dark Souls, you'll like this. If you like Bloodborne, you'll like it even more because that's more kind of in the area it is. Near Automata. Automata.
I think it's Automata.
Automata. Automata. Whatever. Fantastic game. Really sad. Nier, if you don't know, has like 12 endings. It's a ton of ending. This is the futility of life. We're an android and no one loves this kind of thing. It's not the best ending in the like. It has the actual like true ending gets better. But
so sad.
It's a fantastic game. Lots of robots, great combat. You play it a lot because there's lots of endings. You have to then you play as other characters and. It's good. You have to play it. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really, really good.
Well, now I'm not going to play it because I know it's sad.
No, it's not like Nino. It's not like Nino Kuni sad.
Oh my god!
It's not like the android's mother dies.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that game. That game doesn't exist.
Okay, it's so good though. All right, last one on my list, and then we'll move on is Gravity Rush 2. You notice most of these are PS4 exclusives, or at least were when they came out. It's funny. I was looking at a list of games.
Oh my
out.
Goodness.
I was looking at a list of games coming out in 2018 because we were talking about like stuff we were looking forward to.
And the bitterness continues.
Okay, it's not bitterness. I think it's funny.
Angry Matt is like
the last thing we will do
in charge today
is games we're looking forward to in 2018. And I was looking at lists of games coming out in 2018, and I noticed that can any of you name any exclusives coming to Xbox One in 2018?
Crackdown.
Other than Crackdown, I was going to say. Because there aren't many.
And then I don't know, but there's Crackdown.
I went down a list of stuff coming out to PS4, and I'm like, that one. Like, wow, guys. And there's tons of cross-platform, so you can play all these great cross-platform titles on your Xbox One X, but you're not going to play much else.
And don't get me wrong, PlayStation is my system, but Crackdown looks good.
You cannot deny.
And I have an Xbox One X.
Like, it's hilarious. This used to be Nintendo, where it's like, lol, bro, there's no games.
Oh my gosh, there are plenty of games.
And
then they're doing updates, so a lot of their games are like upscaling to 4K.
That's 4K. Anyways, that's fine. That's fine. But is there any reason other than
deal with you tonight? Okay, I can't deal with you.
Okay, if you disregard my graphics, bro, okay, from the equation, which you should anyways, how many games can you only play on the Xbox One X, or just the Xbox One for that matter? There aren't that many of them.
Well, it would be stupid for them to make games that are only for the Xbox One X. That's what I'm saying.
But Xbox One exclusives 2018 or 2017. Whether that mean 2017, other than Forza and Cuphead. And she can't be mean, but she's also going to be very sideways nice. It's like, yeah, that was that one game. That was that one game.
I'm just saying.
That one
But you don't
game.
know. I mean, the year hasn't even started.
Maybe they're
Calm down.
Maybe they're going to announce 30 titles.
There's still E3. I mean, come on
right,
now.
But usually E3 is like coming sometime next year.
You don't know what they're going to... I know, but what I'm saying...
You're right. I hope for the best. I own an Xbox One.
Player 4K
I'd like to have some games for it at some point. It's like I have this huge shelf of PS4 games, and equally not getting pretty big shelf of Switch games. Like Nintendo knocked it out of the park this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they did.
Amongst the sea of terrible Steam Greenlight games and 20-year-old ports, there's actually a bunch of really good Switch games. And that's true. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
But like Overcooked, really? Like, come on. It's like I'm surprised they haven't released Angry Birds for the Switch. But that being there's tons of solid stuff for the Switch though. Like this, like Mario, Splatoon's already, but Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is a port. Solid stuff. Like Nintendo did fantastic their first year. Zelda, that's right. Yeah, well, we talked about it, but fantastic stuff. So it's hilarious that Xbox is now the console that has no games.
I'm sorry. I was really happy to have LA Noire is an underrated gem in my opinion. It doesn't, it gets pushed over by Grand Theft Auto because I guess people don't like to play the good guy. But right? Am I right? People just love GTA.
LA Noire is a different game.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is. It definitely is.
It almost doesn't need to be open world.
You can run around and
do absolutely nothing.
Drive cars and stuff like that too.
Yeah, but there really isn't anything to do in the open world compared to GTA or Red Dead Redemption. Whereas it's like you just go in LA Noire.
No, I was gonna say I guess in GTA.
No.
Yeah, you just can't do those things.
Well, I mean, you can't do anything unless I've forgotten. Where you drive from point A to point B, like you can't do anything else. There's nothing to do in the game world like there is in GTA. Where you can go and you can it's just so there's places to go that has activities, and I'm keeping activities very broad because there's like bowling or there's darts or there's other activities, or you can just blow everybody up. You can't do that because you're a cop in LA Noire. So
yes, but it's such a good story.
No, the story's amazing,
and I feel like it's just way pushed to the side. The soundtrack is amazing. I've always loved. I listen to the soundtrack still till this day. I got it when it first came out. Yeah, I guess it's a different style.
Even
but
you compare it to GTA, and it's nothing like GTA. That's the point. Like
it is open world.
Yeah, but it
that's what I mean.
It almost doesn't need to be.
It's like a sandbox style.
But there is zero sandbox in it. That's the thing. It's like it's open world just because Rockstar made it. But you just go from it's
angry today.
I'm not angry. I'm just saying it's an amazing game, but it's a very linear game where you go from one point to the next. And that's it. There's a progression to it, and there's no reason to do anything else.
It's a beautiful story.
It is.
It has a really great story.
Yes.
It's, Rockstar, they've always been master storytellers.
It's a shame they put Team Bondi out of business, but whatever.
Jeez. No.
It's true.
You're not allowed to speak anymore.
But it's
just nothing but like negativity and sadness.
How are facts negative? It's just the way it is. That studio's gone. Just wait till I talk about EA making another Titanfall. That's going to be great. Y'all heard about that, right? The cycle continues. We're just going to kill Visceral Studios, and we're going to kill off Sledgehammer. Not Sledgehammer, I mean Infinity Ward.
But it's a great game, and I was super happy to have that on the Switch. Shut up. God. I was super happy to have that on the Switch and be able to play that on the go because I think it's really cool. It's a good
I agree.
I give up.
100%.
I don't care. I don't like you.
I agree.
I give up.
Okay, so really quick, and then we're going to get out of here. The things we're looking forward to for 2018.
Yes. Okay.
Proceed.
So I'm looking forward. I saw gameplay for this at a little conference thing that I went to, which I thought was really, really cool. Vampire. And I really hope that it actually comes out in 2018.
It's going to get canceled.
No, it's not. I saw gameplay stuff for it. I don't think it's going to get canceled. I'm very much looking forward to...
I was going to say, it looks like Vampire the Masquerade, and that
yes,
looks
very
awesome.
much so. I thought you were going to say something evil. So, just stop. Enough.
It does look great, and it was supposed to come out this year, and it's very sad that it got delayed to next year.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yes.
So, but it's
and then it got canceled.
Still,
he sneaks it in there. What am I going to do? I have a bad vibe about that game where it feels like it's just going to drop off the radar and go. I
really hope not. If anything, I think it's going to be released, and it might not be as appreciated as it should be,
or be as good because it got rushed out.
I hope. You know what? Please push it back. I'm one of those people. I'm okay if you want to push your game back 10 years. Like, whatever. That's fine.
Push your back game.
Yeah. Shut up. But you just...
If it's good, it's worth the wait, I think is what she's trying to say, right?
Exactly. Yes. I'm okay as long as you make a better game.
Fantastic.
Take your time. Make your great game. Put it out there.
Just don't pull a Prey 2 and just disappear.
And it'll be awesome.
That would be good.
Detroit...
Yeah. I hope that comes out this year.
Yes.
Even you said, I don't know if it's coming out this year. This is not my fault for highlighting the truth of this world, okay?
It's going to come out this year.
It's cold, it's cloudy, it's bleak.
I think that's you, like your vibes, man.
My vibes. It's that the lights are going to go out and we're going to have a fedora and a cigarette. I don't smoke. It's going to be sitting here. It's like that scene from Gremlins. And you're just with the puppets.
Yeah, that would be me.
What happened to your hands, by the way? You're practically there anyways with the move on.
Anyway,
looks
Detroit
great.
looks fantastic. Of course, I've talked about this a million times. I'm super excited for that because Blade Runner for the win kind of reminds me of that. There's
Are you sure there's one coming for not just a remake?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
It might be a
there's one
remake.
coming to the Switch. That looks awesome. I was going to say.
What, Shin Megami?
Yes.
It's for the Switch?
Yes, for the Switch.
Are you sure?
I'm positive they showed it off at E3 last year. This next year. I've been to the future, Marty. We have to go back. Have you noticed, by the way? This occurred to me the other day. You've seen all the Back to the Futures, I'm assuming,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So have you noticed in the first one, Doc is all about like preserving the timeline and not messing with anything, and they have to fix what Marty did wrong and everything. And the second one, he's like, "We gotta fix your kids. Your kids are crazy." I don't know why Doc does not sound like that at all, but we gotta go fix your kids, Marty. Things are going wrong.
Oh my goodness.
But right? Don't you think about that? Like, he goes from having to like protect the timeline to screw it. Your kids, they're stupid. We gotta fix them. Just like that.
Well, maybe he felt like I can be a little lenient, help him out in this little area.
I can't take you seriously with your mittens. Okay, so I'm sorry, Shin Megami. I know this one's coming
Yeah.
out for the
Okay.
Switch.
I don't know. I'll have to look into it, but I just got wind of it and I was like, yeah.
Awesome. Oh, look at that game. That's
Please.
cute. Please, God.
Please.
There was leaked stuff for it, We're talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, by the way.
For the love of all that is
There were some leaked
sacred.
images of a Monsters, Inc. style level, which looks awesome.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Yes. Please, Monsters, Inc. That would be freaking awesome. Toy Story. That would be super awesome as well.
Well, the leaked, not confirmed list of levels I saw there was a Toy Story one. It was Pixar or any 3D Disney happy. So Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Tangled. Yes, I love Tangled.
Yes.
Don't judge me. Big Hero 6.
Ooh, that would be so
And
good too.
I forget what else, but those were the ones that stick in my
I'm
mind.
ready. I am so ready. Please this year,
Please. Pretty please.
That would be super, super
Square.
great. And then it's totally not video game related, but it's super cool, and I have to talk about it because I'm me. Halloween. Yay!
Halloween what?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out.
Oh, the remake for the movie. Okay. Yes.
It's a sequel.
Off bait. Oh, that's right.
I
With the
know,
one with Jamie
it's
Lee
like
Curtis.
Yeah, because it takes place 40 years later. It's supposed to be Jamie Lee Curtis. Nick Castle is coming back. I mean, he must be ancient. Like, can he even do that as Michael
Who's
Myers?
Nick? Oh, okay, cool.
Michael Myers.
The guy in the suit, guys.
Yeah. So Nick
I don't know why
Castle's
he's
coming
coming
back.
back. Doesn't
That's
make
super, super cool. I feel like he might be old and fragile. So
I was going to say,
kind of scared
he
for
brings
him.
something special to the role. He walks forward slowly the way that
Hey,
no one else
man.
can. Once
That's
again,
right.
cliches that you happen to like aren't bad.
And then, of course, John Carpenter is executive producing, which is really cool. So he's going to have a lot of hand in it. And spoiler alert, if you're wondering how in the world they're going to make that work because Jamie Lee died, no. Her character.
They're
I meant.
retconning it.
Yes. So it's like the sequels didn't exist, which I'm super stoked
Thank
about.
God.
I love Halloween and I can get behind it. Like, yeah, some of the choices were a little weird. The cult, a little weird.
That they just dropped entirely also, which I thought was kind of funny. It's almost like stuff they did in Star Wars. Oh, wait, no spoilers. My bad.
Stop. But I can totally get behind it. Like, I love Halloween. It's great. So I'm okay with that, but I'm like super okay with this too, and I just think it's really cool that they're bringing back old school peoples. It's not just a remake. It's gonna be cool.
It could be good. Unfortunately,
It is. It will be
unfortunately, it's
good.
still
Stay
Halloween, and Halloween
positive.
is terrible. But
You're a monster.
I just
I'm not talking.
there's
to
like a
him.
holy trinity of slasher movies.
We're not speaking.
We're really quick going to be horror movie overcast. There's like to me there's a holy trinity. Trinity? That's what you go when you go get your hair cut. You say, "Give me the trinity." There's a holy trinity of slasher movies. And tell me if I'm wrong. It's Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Like those were like the golden three in the 80s, at least to me. Like, are there other ones that stand out?
I mean, Child's Play.
Like that. Well, yeah, but Child's Play didn't have like 10 movies.
I guess,
Like you could include there.
you could
be a
include it
holy
in that.
quadrilogy, but even then, it doesn't make like there's. I guess it makes sense, but there was only 2 or 3. Yeah, there's only 3 Chuckies up into the 90s. At that point, there was like 6 Halloweens.
Well, the first Child's Play was in '88.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's why I'm saying it's these 3. So
Yeah.
But of those three, the only one that I really liked and will watch is Nightmare on Elm Street. Because Jason was, I don't
love Nightmare
care.
on Elm Street.
We have this argument with horror movies all the time is I don't care for the traditional, like, I'm going to walk at you with an axe or insert weapon here or a freaking garden trowel. Like that one terrible movie you made me watch the other day.
What? What was that?
I don't remember what it was, but they were in a mall, or not in a mall, but they were in like a office building and there was a guy with a garden trowel. And remember the
No idea
yeah,
what you're talking about. Are you talking about The Initiation?
Yes.
That was a great movie.
It was a garden trowel.
A great movie.
Garden trowel, guys. Come on.
Go watch The Initiation. It's great.
It was hilarious. But that's what I'm not into that kind of horror movie. I'm into more of the creature features or the monster movies. So like Freddy was much more of a monster movie. Just like, The Thing is one of my favorite.
It's still a slasher though.
Yeah, but it's
yeah,
a slasher.
I
It's a
guess.
slasher with class.
Guess.
It's like nightmares and crazy stuff. So we're done. We're moving. No more movie talk. For the love of God.
Yeah,
Okay, so
sorry.
is that your list?
Yes,
Cool.
that's what I'm looking forward
All
to.
right, things Matt is looking forward to in 2018. It doesn't have to come out. I've said this before, but if you or anyone could maybe contact CD Projekt Red and maybe have them do something about Cyberpunk.
There's no way.
They mentioned the other day, a couple weeks ago, it's like, oh yeah, it's coming along nicely. And I think a lot of us collectively leaned in and went, and do you want to like give us a freaking picture or something, please?
I would love for that game to come out, but now it's my turn to be the negative Nancy. It's probably not.
It's going to come out someday. I really think so. It's going to be so darn long, and there's no reason for there's no reason for it's like, oh, it's fine. But then again, that could be Prey 2. So massive fingers crossed that's going to come out because The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time.
I hope so, and maybe they're waiting to see, if Detroit is successful
For the PS5 or something.
And I really hope that. Stop. I think Detroit will be successful, but even if it isn't,
Detroit's going to be niche, just like
I hope they.
Origami Killer Game, Heavy Rain. There we
Heavy
go.
Rain.
I finally remember
that
the name
was
of the
a
game.
great one.
Yeah,
Jason.
Same people. Jason. Sean.
Sorry.
All I remember about that game. Spoilers: the guy with the coat
Anyway.
is the killer. Anyways,
The killer is the killer. Spoiler alert. Anyway.
my God, you're right. And so I'm looking forward to any kind of good news about Cyberpunk. Please.
That would be cool.
Just
That would be cool.
give me a little bit of gameplay. I just want a picture. Give me a picture of like just some guy with like a tube coming out of the back of his head. I'll be like, cool, satisfied for another year.
And then after that, give me another Witcher.
There you, hell yes, I'll take that. Also looking forward to whatever it's called now. It used to be called the Retro Blocks. Any Retron type system that plays discs, specifically
Ooh, that
Sega
would be cool.
CD. But I mean, because every time I turn on my
yeah.
Sega CD, I'm terrified it's going to break.
Yeah, because you sneeze and it breaks.
Well, I mean, it's old. I mean, I'm not down in the quality
Well,
of
so is the
of-
NES. I'm
yeah,
just
but the
saying.
NES
I'm
had
just saying.
NES also had 0 moving parts.
Okay, yes, that's true.
That's why Sega's will last as long as the
Touche.
NES will, or a Master System will also. But the Sega CD was one of the first CD-ROM consoles,
Mm-hmm.
just about. So, I mean, they didn't know what they were doing, and that was 20 years ago. They're starting to fall apart. There were plastic
Yeah.
gears that strip out. We've seen this when people come in there. It makes that kind of like, that sucker's dead. That don't work. And if you've had one of those consoles happen, you know exactly what that sounds like. It's terrible sound. That means she's dead, Jim. It's over. And so every time I turn on my Sega CD to play Lunar or to play Android Assault
just
or to
punched the
slap the microphone, I do a silent prayer like, please don't be the day where you die. Please.
Yeah.
So I would love very much for a Retron-ish console with like HD capabilities, while we're being hopeful here, to come out that lets me play Sega CD stuff and 3DO stuff, and that would be awesome. And they're making that modular console I talked about like last April.
Yeah.
That just fell off the radar.
Were there some like licensing issues? What happened?
They had to change the name due to legal issues, and I actually haven't checked for a couple of months because they said, "Oh, we're looking for backers for something else now," as opposed to going to Kickstarter, and that was it. I haven't heard jack about it. I mean, maybe the new things have happened. I'm going to actually probably look when I get home tonight because it looked great. I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll play that. Awesome."
That would
And it
be
plays-
cool. I mean, the Retrons do relatively well.
Yeah. And it would play
So-
PS. It was supposed to play PS1 games. Like that's fantastic.
Ooh, that would be really cool.
I'm a huge proponent of collect the stuff you want to collect and buy the real games. Don't pirate crap.
Yeah.
But if you can take that
Absolutely.
game you own and play it in a higher resolution or without fear of damaging your expensive old console, awesome. Go for it. Have fun. So I'm very much looking forward to some kind of info on that also. And lastly, I mean, there's lots of cool stuff coming out in 2018, but It's freaking Secret of Mana remake, dude.
Yeah.
Heck yes. Have you played Secret of Mana before?
Only on PS2, which
Okay,
I
so
was
different.
told was different.
Sort of.
So,
Yeah.
kind of.
It's similar, but yeah, Secret of Mana.
But I loved it for the one for PS2, and I know it's probably way
You
different.
tell me because I've never played that one. Secret of Mana on Super Nintendo. It's a top-down Landstalker Zelda-ish adventure game where you get items and weapons and you solve puzzles and you go around slashing things with a sword.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful.
Kind of looks like Ease.
Potato.
Yeah. But it's like that. But the gag for Secret of Mana is it was multiplayer. You could plug in another controller, or actually I think up to 3 controllers, and play through the whole game with multiple people. So it was just a glorious. Imagine playing Zelda with 2 people, but not Triforce Heroes, like actually through the whole game. Like, yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, like play through Link to
I'm
the Past
excited.
with multiple people. That's what it was like.
I'm definitely
So
gonna
it
get
was
that.
awesome. So they're
I
bringing
have it
that
on my
back
list
out.
of things that I'm gonna buy.
I know it's for the PS4. I think it's coming out for the Switch also, which I think is kind of where it belongs. Nintendo console, whatever. But that looks epic.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I could be wrong. I swear it was coming out for the Switch. But that's cool. And that's kind of all I had. I mean, there's other stuff, but
You know what I'm shocked you didn't say? I'm so sorry because I
What?
know this has been like a million hours. Monster Hunter.
you know what? It looks. I played the
Because
beta.
you're a Monster Hunter dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I played the beta and it's okay.
He's like, I'm feeling angry today. No.
Darn it! No, I wasn't. Now I'm getting pissed. No, I mean, it feels like they've definitely streamlined it a lot, which I actually appreciate because Monster Hunter I've always thought was needlessly convoluted, and people will be like, "That's because it's hardcore, bro." I'm like, no, convolution isn't for hardcore. It's stupid. You can be hardcore and not just be dumb. Like Bloodborne's hardcore. Cuphead's hardcore.
Yeah.
But just like you can't lock on to. You can lock on to body parts. Who wants to lock on to body parts? Everybody, but you. That's like Tokiden or God Eater or any of those other Monster Hunter style games where you can lock onto body parts and specifically damage body parts. It's just nice. It's streamlining and making things more efficient does not mean making them bad. There's some things where it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there are some cases where that was really broke for like 20 years. Fix it. And they fixed it. So that's great. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not like jumping up and down about it because it's still just another Monster Hunter. So it's going to be fun, but it's like, I just think there's other cool things coming out.
Yeah, for sure. And I heard that there was supposed to be a medieval remake.
They did announce they were going to remaster.
So when is this going to happen? Because I need
someday.
it now.
They did. All it was a trailer. Didn't even show any gameplay for it.
Because if you remember a few months back, I love that game. So
Also,
I need it.
The game I forgot we were going to mention is there's a game from the people who made Until Dawn, right? I keep getting Until Dawn and Dying Light confused for some reason. Until Dawn was the one that was the horror movie.
Yes.
Fantastic game though. If you haven't played
Oh
Until
my
Dawn.
God, that game is so good.
It feels like an old school adventure game where there are lots of quick time
did that
events,
come out?
which I hate. I think 2016
Was it
or 2015,
2016?
something like that. It was late 2015 or early 20. Anyways, I hate quick time events, but they kind of work in this game because
They do.
you're kind of influencing a horror movie is the way the game goes. So fantastic game. Multiple endings because people die because it's like a slasher movie, but you can actually save everybody, and who you save and who you don't save influences how the game changes, and it changes the ending. And there's a special ending if you actually save everybody. Those people are making a game called The Inpatient.
Oh, yes.
Remember when we were talking about Resident Evil and VR? Okay, so
I am so ready
it's
for
a
this.
first-person game you can play in VR where you are a patient in a psych ward. And
That's so rad.
I think the game is about, I don't know a lot of details actually. I've just watched the trailers and seen you like text me, be like, guess what you're going to play?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to film it. It's going to be funny.
And I think it's just about you trying to
Can't
get out
wait.
and like the doctor's crazy. It looks like that movie, The Cure for Wellness, actually in a game, kind of, which I'm probably going to hate.
It's
but
going to be awesome.
So I just play it in VR and freak out
I'm
with that.
ready.
So I'm sure you're looking forward to it. Can we have games we're dreading in 2018? Just add a list. Any horror games in VR, please. No. But that's
Awesome.
you know what? I think we're gonna get out of here.
Yes.
I'm gonna go. Apparently I'm very angry.
He's
tonight.
angry tonight. He's just. Thank you for listening. If you have made it this far,
Allegedly
you're the
being
real.
angry means you're talking
Yeah.
about facts, but
Yeah, but you're like angry about. Okay, anyway, you're the real MVP.
Jeez. Yeah, like Britt said, thank you very much for listening.
Yes.
As always, if you have questions, comments, any cool Christmas presents you got this year,
Let us know.
any cool gaming resolutions you have this year, if you think
like
I'm
to
full
read
of crap
letters,
for Xenoblade, if you like to read letters,
So if you want to send us letters, and I can read them on the show.
where do they send them, Brittany?
To
You got it. So send it to shrew.net.org.gov. That is podcast@gameovervideogames.com.
Dang it. See, I was going to say Game Over Video Games podcast, and I was like, that's not right. So podcast@gameovervideogames.com. Perfect.
That's right. Or you can
There we
comment on the
go.
YouTube channel. Let us know what you
Yeah.
think. I'm sure half of you will think I'm stupid for Xenoblade, and that's fine. You're welcome to
You know what?
do
Normally
so.
I say, please don't say mean things because it makes me
you're
sad.
welcome
But if you
to
want to
do
say
so.
mean things to him, that's fine.
It's just my opinion. I don't think Mia should sound like, I was going to say Mount Rushmore. Mia sounds like a mountain. But let us know one way or the other. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much for listening.
Thank
I'm
you.
your host, Matt, and I've been joined by this.
Me,
Miss
Brittany. Yay.
Thank you for listening.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. We'll see you next time on Game Overcast.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Britt,
Hey, Matt.
guess what?
What?
It's 2018.
Yay.
That's when we do.
Okay,
Ready?
You
Go.
can keep going. Can this be at the end? Okay.
Hey, Britt.
Hey.
Oh, it's going to be at the end now. You better believe it.
No. Okay.
Britt.
Hey, Matt.
Guess what?
What?
It's 2018.
What was I supposed to say after that? Because I was going to go, yay. And then I thought you
Just
said.
go, ooh, or something.